Come, sit with me for a moment. I want to talk with you about something I know quite well, this feeling of exhaustion that goes deeper than the body. If you're watching this late at night, unable to sleep because your mind won't stop spinning, I'm so glad you found your way here. I truly am. And if you're watching during the day, but carrying that same tiredness in your chest, that weight of thinking and worrying and trying to figure everything out, I understand. I've known that feeling most of my life. There's a particular kind of exhaustion, isn't there, that comes not from doing too much, but from the mind working too hard. Always analyzing, always planning, always worrying about what might happen or what has already happened. Always trying to solve the puzzle of how to be okay, how to be safe, how to be enough. If that's why you're here, you're not alone. I was 43 years old when I first really felt this. Oh, I'd been tired before. Tired from work, tired from life's difficulties. But this was different. This was a tiredness in my very soul. I would wake up in the morning already exhausted from thoughts that hadn't even happened yet. My mind was like a machine that I couldn't turn off, running and running and running. Does that sound familiar to you? I hope it does, because then you'll know that what I'm about to share comes from someone who has walked this path, not someone who simply read about it. I remember sitting in my teacher's garden one afternoon, probably looking rather miserable, and he asked me what was wrong. I told him I was so tired, tired of my own mind, tired of trying to figure everything out, tired of carrying all this mental weight. And do you know what he said? He smiled, not unkindly, but with such warmth, and he said, "Good. Now perhaps you're ready to learn something." At the time, I didn't understand what he meant. Ready to learn what? I'd come to Buddhism looking for answers, for techniques, for ways to fix my broken mind. I wanted him to give me a system, a practice, a method that would make all this exhaustion go away. But that's not what happened. What happened was much stranger and much more helpful. What I want to share with you today are some old Zen stories, some Buddhist teachings that found me when I needed them most. Not as philosophy, not as something to study or master, but as medicine. Medicine for a mind that's been working too hard for too long. I won't promise you a cure. I don't believe in cures for being human, but I can offer you what helped me, what still helps me all these years later. These stories are strange. Some of them won't make sense. Some of them might even frustrate you at first. That's okay. That's part of how they work. They're not meant to give your thinking mind more to chew on. They're meant to give it a rest, to stop it, just for a moment. And in that stopping, in that brief silence, something can relax that you didn't even know was clenched. So let's take our time together. There's no rush. We have nowhere else to be. Just you and me, an old man who learned these things slowly and imperfectly, sharing what he found along the way. And if by the end you feel even a little lighter, even a little more at ease, well, that would make me very happy indeed. Let me tell you about the first time I heard a Zen story. I was 43, sitting with my teacher in his small room, and I was desperate. Absolutely desperate for him to help me understand how to fix my mind, how to find peace, how to stop this endless thinking. I wanted answers, clear, sensible answers. He looked at me with those kind eyes of his and said, "Let me tell you a story." And then he told me about a monk who once asked his master, "What is Buddha? What is enlightenment? What is the nature of ultimate reality?" And do you know what the master said? He said, 3 pounds of flax. I stared at my teacher. 3 pounds of flax. That's it. That's the answer to the deepest question a person can ask. I felt my face get hot. I was angry, actually. Here I was, suffering, searching, trying so hard to understand, and he's giving me, what? Laundry talk? Fabric weights? I said, "I don't understand. What does that mean?" And my teacher just smiled. He didn't explain. He just smiled and said, "Sit with it." Oh, I was furious. But here's the thing. And this took me years to appreciate. In that moment of confusion, of absolute bewilderment, my mind stopped. Just for a second. It was like a record player that had been spinning and spinning suddenly lifted its needle. Silence. And in that silence, there was space. There was rest. You see, these old Zen stories, koans they're called, they're not meant to make sense to your thinking mind. They're meant to exhaust it, to give it something it simply cannot figure out. And when the mind stops trying to solve everything, something remarkable can happen. Something relaxes that you didn't even know was holding on. Here's another one I love. A student asked his master, "How do I enter the path of enlightenment?" The master was drinking tea. He just pointed to his cup and said, "Do you hear the sound of that tea? Isn't that wonderful?" The poor student is asking about the profound mysteries of existence, and the master is asking him to listen to tea. There's such gentle humor in it, don't you think? Such kindness, really. Because what the master is saying is, stop looking so far away. Stop trying so hard. It's right here. This moment, this cup of tea, this breath you're breathing right now. I spent decades, dear one, looking for peace in books and teachings and practices. And all the while, peace was right here, in the sound of rain, in the taste of breakfast, in the feeling of my feet on the ground. But my mind was too busy searching to notice. Let me share one more, and this one makes me smile every time I think of it. A monk asked, "What happens after we die? Where do we go?" And his teacher said, "When I'm hungry, I eat." Now, your thinking mind wants to know what that means, doesn't it? It wants to figure it out, to solve the puzzle. But that's exactly what these stories are asking you to let go of. Not forever, not permanently, just for a moment. Just long enough to feel what it's like when the mind isn't grasping, isn't trying, isn't working so terribly hard. These stories aren't tests you need to pass. They're not riddles with clever answers. They're medicine. Strange medicine, I'll grant you, but medicine nonetheless. Medicine for a mind that's tired of carrying everything, figuring out everything, controlling everything. When you hear them and feel that little jolt of confusion, that "wait, what" feeling, that's good. That's the medicine working. That's your mind letting go of its grip, just for a breath. And in that letting go, there's space. There's lightness. There's the tiniest taste of what mental relaxation actually feels like. Not understanding, not solving, not achieving. Just being here. Just this. 3 pounds of flax. A cup of tea. The sound of your own breathing. Let that settle for a moment, if you would. There's one story that found me at exactly the right moment, though I didn't know it at the time. A young student kept pestering his teacher with the same question, over and over. "Master, what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of all this? Why are we here?" For years, this went on. Years. And finally, one morning after breakfast, the student asked again, "Master, please, tell me the meaning of life." The teacher looked at him and said, "Have you eaten your breakfast?" "Yes," the student replied. "Then wash your bowl." Oh, how I love that story. How deeply it cuts, in the gentlest possible way. When I first heard it, I was maybe 50 years old. I'd been searching for meaning for so long by then. Reading books, attending retreats, sitting with teachers, trying different practices, always looking for something profound, something transcendent, some great cosmic answer that would finally make everything make sense. And here was this teacher, pointing to a bowl, a dirty breakfast bowl. I have to tell you something, and it's a little embarrassing. For most of my adult life, I didn't really see the ordinary moments of my days. I was too busy thinking about them, analyzing them, trying to get through them so I could get to the important stuff, the spiritual stuff, the meaningful stuff. I would eat breakfast while reading or planning my day, my mind already miles away. And then I'd leave my bowl in the sink and rush off to meditate, to search for peace. Do you see the sadness in that? The beautiful, heartbreaking irony? peace was right there in the eating, right there in the washing, right there in the feeling of warm water on my hands, the simple act of caring for the things that care for me. How many years did I spend like that? How many meals did I not taste because I was thinking about other things? How many moments of simple, ordinary peace did I walk right past because I was searching for some grand, extraordinary version instead? If you're someone who's been searching too, dear one, I want you to know something. I see you. I was you. And I want to tell you, with as much gentleness as I can, that what you're looking for isn't hiding somewhere far away. It's not in the next book, the next teacher, the next practice. It's here, right here, in whatever you're doing right now, in the breath you're breathing, in the place where you're sitting, in the ordinary, humble, beautiful moments that make up a life. The bowl isn't just a bowl, it's an invitation to come home to right now, to stop overlooking this moment in favor of some imagined better moment, to stop treating your actual life like it's just the waiting room for your real life to begin. I think about all the bowls I didn't really wash, all the meals I didn't really taste, all the moments I missed because I was somewhere else in my mind, chasing after something I thought I needed in order to finally be okay. And you know what? I feel tender toward that younger version of myself. He was trying so hard. He was doing his best. He just didn't know yet that he was already home. You're already home too, my friend. Right here, right now, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. This is it. This is the life. Not the one you're planning for or remembering or wishing for. This one, the one that's happening right now. The complete mental relaxation you're seeking, it's not in some future moment when everything finally comes together. It's available right now, in the simplest acts, in noticing your breathing, in feeling your hands, in really tasting your tea or washing your bowl with presence and care. You've been carrying this peace with you all along. You really have. It's been here, waiting patiently while you looked everywhere else. And it's still here, right now, just this moment, exactly as it is. That's the teaching. That's the whole teaching, really. I want to tell you about one of the most ridiculous things I've ever done. I must have looked absolutely absurd. I'd been practicing meditation for maybe 6 months, and I decided I was going to really master it. I was going to achieve complete mental relaxation through sheer determination and willpower. Do you hear how funny that is? I was going to force myself to relax. So I sat down on my cushion, and I squeezed my eyes shut, and I clenched my jaw, and I pulled my shoulders up around my ears, and I thought very, very hard about being calm. I must have looked like I was trying to lift a heavy stone with my mind. 3 days I did this. 3 days of the most intense relaxation practice you've ever seen. My teacher walked by on the 3rd day. He stopped, looked at me for a moment, and then he started to laugh. Not unkindly, but with such genuine amusement. He sat down beside me and said, "My friend, you look like you're trying to win a war with yourself." And oh, he was right. That's exactly what I was doing. I was fighting my own mind, wrestling with my thoughts, trying to force them into submission. I was treating relaxation like an enemy I needed to defeat. The harder I tried, the tighter I became. The more I demanded peace, the less I found it. You know what he told me? He said, "The mind is rather like a puppy. If you chase it, it runs away. If you fight with it, it fights back. But if you sit down and stop chasing, sometimes it comes and sits with you." That was such a gift, such a gentle, loving gift, because what he was really saying was, stop trying so hard. Stop making everything a battle. Stop treating yourself like a problem that needs to be solved. So let me share with you what I learned, slowly and imperfectly, over many years. Mental relaxation isn't something you achieve through effort. It's something you allow by letting go of effort. It's not about winning. It's about softening. Right now, Wherever you are, just notice. Where are you tight? Where are you clenched? Maybe it's your shoulders, like mine were. Maybe it's your jaw. Maybe it's somewhere in your chest or your belly. Just notice it. Don't judge it. Don't try to fix it. And now, if you're willing, take a breath, a gentle breath. And as you breathe out, see if you can soften just a little bit. Not force anything, not make anything happen. Just allow. Allow your shoulders to drop just slightly. Allow your jaw to unclench just a bit. Allow whatever's tight to soften, like ice melting in warm water. There, that's it. That's the whole practice, really. Noticing where you're fighting, where you're clenched, where you're trying so hard, and then gently, kindly, allowing yourself to soften. Not forever, not perfectly, just for this breath, just for this moment. The beautiful thing is, you can do this anywhere, anytime. You don't need a cushion or a special room or perfect silence. You just need to notice. Are you tight right now? Are you braced against something? Are you trying to win a war with yourself? And if you are, and we all are sometimes, that's okay. That's completely okay. You're not doing it wrong. You're just human. We humans tend to clench when we're afraid, to fight when we feel threatened, to try very hard when we want something very much. It's what we do. But we can also learn to soften, to let go, to stop fighting quite so much. Not because fighting is bad or wrong, but because it's so exhausting, and because the peace we're looking for is already here, waiting patiently for us to stop chasing it. You don't have to master this. You don't have to be perfect at it. You just have to notice and soften, and notice and soften, again and again, as many times as you need, with as much kindness as you can manage. That's enough. That's always been enough. So here we are, you and I, coming to the end of our time together, and I want to tell you what I hope you'll carry with you when you leave. These old stories we've talked about, 3 pounds of flax, washing your bowl, the puppy mind, they're not lessons you need to memorize or wisdom you need to master. They're just gentle invitations, invitations to smile at your own mind, to be a little kinder to yourself, to remember that the peace you're seeking isn't hiding somewhere far away. Wherever you are right now, whatever brought you here tonight, I want you to know something. You're okay. Right now, in this moment, exactly as you are, you're okay. Your mind might be spinning, your chest might be tight, you might be carrying worries that feel too heavy. But underneath all of that, underneath all the thinking and worrying and trying, there's something peaceful. Complete mental relaxation isn't something you achieve by working harder or trying more or finally getting everything figured out. It's something you allow by letting go, by softening, by coming home to this moment just as it is. Not perfect, not fixed, just here. Maybe tomorrow or next week or next month, you'll notice your mind starting to spin again. You'll feel that old tightness returning, that sense of fighting with yourself. And when that happens, and it will happen, it happens to all of us. Maybe you'll remember our conversation. Maybe you'll remember the bowl that needs washing. Maybe you'll remember that you can soften just a little, just for one breath. That's enough. I think about the years I spent searching for some grand answer, some perfect practice, some key that would unlock everything. And all the while, peace was right here, in the washing of a bowl, in the drinking of tea, in the simple, ordinary moments that I kept walking past because I was looking for something more impressive. Don't make my mistake, dear one. Don't overlook your life while you're waiting for your life to begin. This is it, this moment, right here, right now, this breath you're breathing, this feeling in your body. This is the life, and it's enough. You're enough. I hope you'll be gentle with yourself in the days to come. I hope you'll wash your bowls with presence. I hope you'll notice when you're clenched and allow yourself to soften. I hope you'll remember that you don't have to win any wars with yourself. And I hope you'll remember that somewhere, an old man you've never met is thinking of you with such warmth. I'm glad we had this time together. I'm glad you found your way here. I'm glad you exist, exactly as you are. May you be peaceful, my friend. May you be gentle with yourself. May you remember that this moment is enough, that you are enough, that you've always been enough. May you know, deep in your bones, how loved you are, not because you've achieved anything or become anyone special, but simply because you're here, simply because you're you. That's enough. That's always been enough. Thank you for sitting with me. Until we meet again, take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. And remember, when you've eaten your breakfast, wash your bowl. Everything you need is already here.